If you are owner of underdeveloped property or you are investor starting a new hotel brand, this is the place to be. Welcome. This channel is all about extraordinary guest experiences in small independent hotels. And this is live number 1. So today I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Actually, the first one I would like to address. I said something last week that I wanted to elaborate a little bit more on. I said that extraordinary experiences were for everyone. So extraordinary experiences are not only reserved for luxury, for rich people, for five-star hotel experiences. They are for everyone. What do I mean by that? So it can be a bit confusing because if extraordinary is for everyone, then it's not extraordinary anymore. And it's kind of true if we take that word as it is, like extraordinary is something that is not available for everyone, something that doesn't happen very often. But this is not how I define it. And it's not just about me. I think when we talk about service, this is not what we think about. So when we say extraordinary service, it means that that business, that person provided something to you that you didn't expect and you really appreciate it. So they did something for you. They cared more than they had to. So that's already extraordinary. And then there could be other elements as well. So, but the interesting thing is, as always, those people at the kind of the top, like rich people, uh, do set standards for everyone else. It's, I think it's called like a tackle down effect. And the rich people nowadays are not the same as they used to be 20 or 30 years ago. Now they are more self-made. And a very fun fact that maybe I can share now is that, previously, like 20, 30 years ago, luxury goods used to be what you would assume is luxury, like expensive cars, expensive clothes, homes, um, any kind of goods, etc. But today, it's three things. It's education. Uh, if you make someone's life easier, so convenience. And the third one are experiences in general, like experiencing life in a different ways. So those three things. And the funny thing is that actually now in hospitality, we can address all three of those. And actually, those things set standard for everyone else. So that's actually what I mean by extraordinary is for everyone. Because, okay, we might be talking about Ritz-Carlton, but then we might also be talking about some hostel. And extraordinary should exist in both places, but it will be different because guests are different and their needs and wants are different. And that's why you will always hear someone for certain kind of experience, level of service, saying, "Oh, I would never pay for it," or that's very stupid. Like, why would someone care for it? So that's the point. But then that person can still get extraordinary experience in a kind of place, in a kind of property they like to stay in, not in the other one they were just commenting. But that type of service is special and very like luxurious for other type of person. So that's a very important point, because I say that I create extraordinary guest experiences. People usually assume it's very connected to luxury, which for me it is, because I think we all define luxury, true luxury, in a different way. Although when we say luxury, we have a certain pictures in our head, but luxury today for a busy mom will be time for self-care. Then it's going to be different for someone who's a uh, owner of a business or working in a corporate 9 to 5. It's all very different. And what we can do in hospitality is figure out what those people, and when I say those people, it should always be your specific guests, what their needs and wants are. Okay, so this was one part of the topic. And the second part of the topic, I'm kind of nervous about, maybe angry is a better word, is, as you maybe know, I'm here in Dubai, living here in Dubai for 1 year now. I came here from New Zealand, and before that, I lived in France and Sweden. So, all very different environments. And for this time here in Dubai, I've seen many luxurious places. And now, actually, I want to start from homes and villas. So, it's crazy for me to think about all those very expensive villas. I'm talking $10 million and plus, which I don't find inspiring nor beautiful. And it's not really about what I find beautiful. I would bet that even those people living there don't really think that. They're just conditioned socially to think that. So I want to say, like, what can we expect from hotels when people's homes are so boring and not personal, like very, very much same, dull. So what I've seen is, I'm talking about mostly about interior, because those expensive homes, they usually have a very attractive location. For example, on a palm, they have a private beach, they have a beautiful like city skyline view, and I'm not denying that it can be wonderful, but I'm talking about like being shocked how those people can live in practically same interiors, very boring interiors. Why do I keep saying boring? It's because when you enter those homes, it practically doesn't matter if you entered Villa A, where family X lives, or if you entered Villa B, where a couple, Mr. and Mrs. WXZ lives. It doesn't matter. But how can it be? Like, how do you mean it doesn't matter? So how can we talk about, a hotel standing out on a market, like small independent hotel? I'm not talking about chains here, when we have all those similar homes which are proud to be on attractive locations, expensive and top notch of Dubai, when there is this big part, right? So to paint you a picture, like everything is in the neutral colors, gold, yellow, um, with stones in a very expected designs, places. Then even artwork is, it's not the same, but you can feel the same trend, right? So if abstract is trending now, they will all have some abstract pictures, artworks on their walls. So I love that question. What would they find out about you? Okay, you're rich, you have lots of money. Great. What else? Like, would they know what your passions are? How do you relax? What do you especially care about? What your values are, basically, who you are as a person. Would they figure out, do they want to hang out with you or not? Or they don't have enough information because it's all the same. Because that's what's happening when I enter those homes. And then when we don't know how to do that for our homes, how can we do that for our hotels? It's not possible. And it makes me sad because, especially, in those big cities, you can see how egocentric we are becoming as a society, like very occupied, like going, like not really listening to each other. We only care about our appearance and being accepted in certain groups. So we are very um, like egocentric, like looking into ourselves, not really connecting with each other. And in other way, it's funny because that doesn't mean at all that we know ourselves, that we know what we like, who we are, what we care about passionately, what we want to fight for. We don't know that. We don't know that. So I feel like I also want to address that I do understand that many people are not into design, into visual stuff, into interior. They don't care. They don't even care maybe when they go to some hotel. And but I mean, for home they should. But I'm not talking about them doing a design for their home, or it also goes for outfit, right? So we tend to wear what our circles of people wear. We become very similar. It's also a kind of a clue, like, can someone distinguish in a way who we are with our specific style, not just fitting in somewhere. But where was I? So it's not about you actively participating in creating your home personality. Let's use that word now, because I think the title of this live will be hotel personality, home personality. So you don't have to actively participate, but actually, when you are who you are, when you're very clear with that, even the experts you hire and the way you talk with them, it will pop up. It will be like that elephant in the room, but you cannot hide it. Like experts, like designer, for example, will ask and say, "Aha, I notice you like this and that," or because in a way it will pop up. It is also harsh truth that experts today just use certain patterns, and just copy paste things. But if you don't take ownership for that part, for your hotel now, if you're talking about your hotel, it's never really going to stand out. It's going to be hustle. Everyone will be promising you, for example, with marketing tools, that they can distinguish you from your competitors in the market, but it's not really happening. Maybe for a small while when you're pumping money into it, but it's not happening because those basics no one thought about. There is no personality of that property. And now I mean, in this live, I talked about homes just to kind of bring awareness of how big issue this is, because we don't know how we present ourselves, even in our style, in our different choices, even in the way we talk and communicate. Then in our homes, like if someone would come in right now, what would they know about me? It's not just about books in the background, it's about, like, for example, we have my husband is a photographer. It's actually his hobby. And then great to walk, or I mean, small details like me painting on curtains. It's such kind of things you do when you're close to yourself or trying to be. I am on that journey. So so it's very broad, and I understand why our businesses are not more personal. So it's very difficult to differentiate in a market when this zero step is missed. And it's nice that you hire different types of experts. Great. Experts should do their stuff, they know the knowledge. But you need to give them initial inputs, you need to give them direction, you need to give them vision, but just not just fancy words and not vague kind of, right? You don't want to say just it should be a relaxing place, or calming, or I don't know, like all those types of words where you said a lot, but there's nothing we can actually do with that. But if you say that you like animals, animal photography, or and then even more specific, like details of interactions between animals, or on the other side, maybe you like hunting, or it's just, if you give those types of pictures to someone, then that someone can do the brainstorming and create a story and a character. And that's the zero step. And then we have something very important, a core thing of your hotel. And then it's not going to be some market expert who comes to differentiate your hotel and does nothing with lots of money, like does something, but basically it's just a hustle. No, then it's going to be many experts, among them marketing experts as well, who come and really do wonders if they're good experts, because you give them really specific inputs, because you already differentiate. You just need to market it, to present it. And not just that, but also like when you have such story, then when interior designer, for example, comes, then having in mind that story and character you built with someone like me, then they can think about colors, textures, materials, and not just that, even beyond that, like how certain rooms visually communicate between each other, like how do they complement each other, what's the story between rooms, between all the rooms in hotel, like hallways, also reception, also your online space, like then everything becomes a story. And that's actually what a real meaning of guest journey and guest experiences. So it's not just, okay, I cannot just talk and talk and talk in one live about everything. I want to kind of keep one point, one good point. And for now, for this live, but it's very first live, we'll practice more. It should be how, like the zero step, step zero is creating your hotel story and character. So you're personalizing it, and you are creating a story throughout the space and time, because when it comes to certain guests, you have a period before they come, during their stay, and once they leave. So yeah, and then you make it alive. And other things like design, architecture, marketing, uh, any kind of special offers for for certain seasons, holidays, or even packages that you provide. That's all just kind of a tools, but a story and character should be mirrored in all of those things, like incorporated in those. And that's when you see, like, Aman is always a very good example of those things. But that's how successful and a very different and big names, but not like chains. Something you see in Relais and Chateau, for example. That's how those boutique hotels are made. All right. I think that's going to be that for today. I did have some examples actually. A funny story. I didn't know. Maybe you did, but that there was one hotel that has a dog in a hotel, and it's forgot the name, but that's that beautiful winter dog, black and white, big one. They're very friendly, very playful. So they have like a service of a rent a dog. Obviously, they don't charge for it, but that was very cute. But it's a specific context, and those kinds of ideas should fit into your character and story. Then another example I found was an offer of having a bath in tea. So someone comes in your room and actually prepares you your personal bath in tea, right? So before that, you have a menu, a selection of teas, and that kind of experience. And it's very important that the experience is then well implemented. I think I told the story of that hot chocolate month in one very luxurious place in Montenegro. They actually had an amazing marketing. Me and my husband entered the room, and there was a very nice menu describing their idea of hot chocolate month. Very, very nice, really. It was winter time. And I was so excited. And I went downstairs. It was the time for, as they said, like, I don't know, after 3 p.m., whatever. And they came there, and a waiter asked me, okay, do you want black or white or mixed? Yeah, I was like, chocolate, you mean? Like, okay, let's go with mixed. I was like, black or white or mixed. Okay, let's do everything. Because, like, if that's your presentation, I was just like, well, let's do everything. And they didn't ask me anything else. And I was like, excuse me, excuse me, do you have some spices? And they were very polite, like very polite. It's a very, very luxurious hotel. And they said, yes, of course. Would you like some cinnamon? And I said, okay, yes. And is that all? And they wanted, I mean, doesn't matter. I added some chili also, but the existing, but the marketing was great, right? And let me now finish when I already started this. So when they brought it to me, the disaster continued because it was like eating in a McDonald's, hot chocolate in McDonald's. In McDonald's, it's even better. Why? Because their hot chocolate had whipped cream on top, which was melting on a hot chocolate, right? And the hot chocolate was like a pudding. It was meant to be eaten with a spoon. So it was a complete disaster. And why I said I want to finish this example now, because they obviously didn't develop that character and story that I'm talking about. They didn't develop it well. And then someone from marketing point of view, they understood it well, and they were very creative and inspired, and it was amazing. But then the other end, production, they didn't know, like, what do you mean by this? Okay, it's a hot chocolate, we can make this and that. But then the point is that no one from the management, and ideally, it should have existed from the very beginning of opening of this hotel. Like there should have been some, like their concept is boho. Their aesthetics is boho type of vibes. But it's not enough. It's not enough to say, oh, we're minimalistic, or we're boho, or we are Arabic style, right? It's not, it's absolutely not enough. It just tells about some like point, okay, it's, you can expect this and that in design, but that's not what I'm talking about, character and story. For example, for them, as boho, which is like eclectic, right? Like different styles in one. So, for example, for Hot Chocolate Month, they could have had different types of spices, even different types of spirits, everything you can add, even like a small presentation or like a tray of tasting, maybe like, I don't know, like three, like black, white, and mixed chocolate, let's say. Let's roll with that. And then around them different spices, and then you have a different experience. Like, for example, that reminds me of boho now when I'm talking about this. So, okay, I hope this was helpful, like giving you an example from real world of how they messed up and what they could have done, and what it actually means to have a story and character of your hotel, which will then be mirrored in all operations throughout everything and in every point of contact with your guests. Okay, see you in live number 2 tomorrow. And until then, you can subscribe on my website to free training. Okay, bye bye.